What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Chris Godwin and his route running ability. He's one of the most reliable targets in the NFL and a great target for Jameis Winston to throw to and a great compliment to Mike Evans. And guys, this video is by request, so please leave in the comments who you would like to see me break down next. I would really appreciate that. Let's get started. So he's going to be running selling like he's going on a post dig almost. That's what the stem's going to look like. Then he's going to snap this thing off and break back outside in the red zone. Let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So he's coming off here, post, dig, snap down, get in and out of this break, and then go up and high point this thing. He has some of the best hands in the NFL, but we're going to break down why his routes get him so much separation to make those catches, but he's also great at catching the ball in traffic. So he's coming off the line here. He's going 1 second outside step, head and shoulder movement to the outside, right? He's exploding off this leg, trying to sell like he's just going post, going right up this seam maybe, looking on this post. So he goes up this post right here, and then he breaks down right here. So stick, selling like he's going dig. Now what this DB does is he thinks it's a dig, so he's got a trail. He's going to try to undercut this thing. He realizes he's beat on the dig, so he's going to come underneath him. And then Godwin does a good job of changing direction fast. How he's able to change direction so quickly is because of his hips. He's able to have his hips shoot down, violent hips explode in and out of this break. So as you can see, violent hips drop down, and he's pushing off this outside leg to take him back outside. And this DB's already committed because Godwin committed his shoulders to the inside, committed his shoulders to this dig, and he was fast off of this break. So he's able to change direction on a dime, get that hands off of him, and he's coming out. Jameis Winston should have put this ball right in front of him, or it might have been Fitzpatrick, and then he goes up and high points this ball because he knows it's an underthrown ball. That's a great job going up and high pointing this thing. That's something all receivers need to do in the red zone, guys. If the ball's late or if the ball is in the position where the quarterback throws it above the rim, we got to go up and we got to go get this thing. That's a great job by Godwin high pointing this thing, then being able to get 2 feet down for a touchdown. That's a great job working this post dig stem, stopping right on a dime, having violent hips right here, sinking those hips and exploding off of this outside foot to get upfield. That's a great job. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming off here, snap down, in and out of this break. Let's go up and catch this ball, high point it for a great job. Now he's going to be coming in motion here. Now he's going to be running a stop route. Now I want you to see how fast he gets in and out of this break on this route. Let's watch this thing right now. So he's coming in motion across formation, or halfway across formation. Gets him upfield, full speed, changes direction fast, ball's out right now. That's how fast you need to get out of a break, because you see this ball's already in the air. And this point right here, ball's already halfway there. He's getting ready to break. Jameis understands timing. They probably worked this a bunch of times, probably worked this hundreds of times. And he snaps the head around, ball's there right now. That's how fast we need to get out of breaks. We don't have any time to waste at the top of the route. So we're going to watch how he comes out of this break so fast. So off the line of scrimmage, how we get a lot of separation, guys, and how we deceive the DB is by making everything look the exact same. It looks like he's just running on a seam straight up the hash, right? So he's coming full speed. Now, when he snaps down here with this first leg, I think he could sink his hips just a little bit more, so it's maybe least steps at the top of the route. But he's so fast with his feet, snaps that head around. That's why he's able to catch this ball, and that's why he's able to be on time. So we're going to count his steps. So that's 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's already out of this break. Head snapped around, ball's coming, and he's ready for this ball. He's expecting this ball. That's a great job. Now, that second and third step, guys, I want you to see how it angles him back downhill. Second step angles him, and third step angles him back downhill right here. So he's able to get those hips turned around, shoot that head back around, and then he's able to catch this ball. If those feet were pointed straight forward, it would take him about 6, 7 steps to get in and out of this break. We're late on the ball. Jameis already threw this thing. We're not ready for it, and then it's an incompletion rather than a big completion and a first down. But he snaps that head back around, catches this ball. Now, when he catches this ball, main thing I want you to see, he's so focused on getting upfield. That's why he's so reliable. He's such a good target to throw to, because we know if we complete the ball, he's focused on getting upfield. So he catches this thing, and now he's focused on getting upfield. Get us an extra 5, 6, 7 yards. That's a great job by Godwin, working this stop route over the middle, making this thing look vertical, snapping this thing off, 5 steps in and out of this break to set up the good timing with Jameis Winston. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming out here, full speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snaps that head back around, catches ball. Let's burst upfield for a great job. That's a great job by Godwin in that situation. All right, so now he's going to be running a fade here. Now on this fade, I want you to see this is a fade against off coverage. I get this question asked a lot. This isn't zone coverage, because obviously this is a one-on-one situation, right? Off coverage, though. How can I get fade? Because if he just tries to run straight by him, DB's going to go stride for stride, and he's going to lose the rep. So let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So he's coming off here. 1, 2. Sells this post, gets that DB sitting inside, then he's able to get some separation for a great job. That's a great job by Chris Godwin bursting upfield on this fade. So this is called almost a rocker step, okay? He's giving this pressure step to the inside here to sell like he's going post. So off coverage, right? He wants to close the gap with him, wants to step on his toes. That's the goal. Metaphorically, step on his toes, get him on his heels, get him backpedaling out of there so we can make a move here, sell like we're going post, get that DB sitting inside, then take this thing back outside. So he closes the gap, 1-2. Now, when he takes this second step to the inside, I want you to see how much head and shoulder movement he gave to the inside. This DB is worried about that because that's his blind spot if he takes this thing post, and he's going to have to speed turn out of there. Speed turn is when he would turn this way and then try to go make a play on the ball. So that post break is what's simulating like he's going to go post. And see how it gets him sitting inside. It gets his feet to stop. It gets his back pedal to stop. And when his back pedal stops and we're going full speed, we're going to be able to run by him if we could get his hands off of us. And again, he does a great job of being physical. Anytime we're running a fade against off coverage, even zone coverage, they're going to try to be physical when we're downfield. So we got to get those hands off of us, guys. So he gets those hands off. He bursts upfield, keeps going, and then catches this ball over the top. And again, showing late hands, not showing his hands too early, waiting until almost the last possible second to show those hands. So if the DB were closer, he wouldn't be able to react on it. That's a great job by Godwin, working this fade off of this almost rocker step, pressure step to the inside to get some separation. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming off, 1-2, gets him inside, gets him to stop that back pedal, then let's just burst upfield and let's run right by him. So he's going to be at the right side of your screen right here, and he's going to be running a dig. Now, we're going to talk about catch in traffic, guys. How can we catch better in traffic? Because this is what perfect example of this backer, this backer right here. You're going to see, well, let's watch the clip full speed, and then I'll explain more of it because it'll make more sense. So he's coming off here, gets a little lean into him, 1-2, out of this break. This backer reads Jameis's eyes, right? He reads Jameis's eyes. He comes all the way from across the field and is trying to make a play on this thing because Jameis is looking left, right? But he's got to catch the ball in traffic. Godwin does a great job of catching this ball in traffic. So we're going to break down the route as well. So when he's coming up into this route, taking this thing full speed, he knows zone coverage. Let's just get into the route. Let's not waste too much time off the line of scrimmage. Let's just go. Let's just get into this route. That's a great job he does. He takes the inside release that he's given him. So now he's bursting up, and he doesn't avoid the contact. He likes the contact. He wants to be contact with this guy so he could get a little lean on him and get a little bit of a push. When we get a lean like that in our route, we're going to get a push off, and we're going to be able to get some separation. So he gets a little lean into him, and I want you to see it takes him 2 steps. 1-2, and he's out of this break here, or 3 steps. So 1, 2, 3, he's out. That's how fast it takes him to get in and out of this break. That's how fast we got to be out of our breaks anytime we're over the middle. Because could you imagine if he's coming up here to this route, right? He's going full speed. He's not slowing down. And if he were to break down and beat the drum and chatter his hands, chatter his feet, this would be terrible because that DB would be able to play it. He'd be able to undercut it, and the timing would not be where it needs to be with Jameis Winston. That's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to get in and out of this break as fast as possible here. So he's coming up, bursting up. 1, 2, 3. In and out of this break. Now, he shoots that head back around. He's looking back over the middle. He's expecting this ball from Jameis. Linebacker plays this thing. He's reading his eyes. So what he has to do is he has to come up, balls up high. He has to go up and make this play. High point this ball, catch in traffic. We need a strong grip. Anytime we're catching this ball in traffic, we need a strong grip so we're able to catch this thing, avoid any kind of not avoid any kind of contact, but withstand any kind of contact that we get from any defender. And that's a great job by Godwin going up and getting this thing, making a hard catch over the middle because going over the middle is tough for any receiver, but going up, strong grip, making this catch in traffic. That's why he's one of the most reliable receivers in the game, and especially on Tampa Bay. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming out, gets a little lean into him. 1, 2, 3. Out of this break, go up and get this thing, strong grip, catch this ball for a great job. Okay, so he's going to be on the left side of our screen now. Now, the main thing I want you to see is how he deceives this DB with his eyes, okay? Your eyes is going to tell lies. That's the main thing I want you to get from this. Is going to be running a post. Winston's going to throw this thing a little bit behind him, but he still makes a great catch in traffic. Let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So he's coming out, eyes to the outside, stick. Coming back inside, Jameis throws it behind him. We still got to make this catch in traffic. That's a great job. So he's coming out here. He angles this stem outside, right? He wants to sell like he's just going straight up the sideline, going vertical. Let's get vertical right now. We're going to beat him over the top. So what he's trying to do is get this DB to open up this gate, trying to get him to turn his hips to the sideline, and he does a pretty good job of that. So he continues out. He closes the gap with this DB, right? He doesn't make this break until he gets up to this depth. He's focused on closing the gap with this DB. He doesn't cut this thing off early. I see a lot of young receivers do that. They cut their break off early because they feel like, oh, I'm going to get more separation if I cut it off early. They don't want to close the gap gap with this DB. So he's looking over that outside shoulder, gets him to open up this gate. That's all we need him to do. Then he makes this stick with head and shoulder movement to the outside. One thing I don't like is how this arm is shooting out, okay? What that does is that's kind of like an indicator. When you shoot your arm out like that, it's an indicator. You're letting the whole stadium know that you're making a break, okay? Now, it could work to your advantage if you're working a double move. Maybe you want to get this guy to bite like he's working a post corner, but I would like to keep our hands nice and tight, make it look like we're running. But I like the head and shoulder movement to the outside to keep this guy honest, to make him think like we're just making a power step and we're going up vertical right now. And then he's able to burst over the middle. If Jameis puts this thing right here, that's a big game because he took care of what he needed to take care of separation-wise at the top of the route. Because this DB's off balance, he's got only one hand on him. If he puts this thing in front of him, it's going to be a good ball. Now, this is a great job catching in traffic right here, okay? We got to be able to catch in traffic, guys. He shows these hands laid. He doesn't shoot his hands out here. He catches this thing with his body. Now, I know you here don't catch this ball with your body because it's going to bounce off your pads. But in a situation like this, if he shoots his hands out there, all that DB's going to do is play through those hands and knock that ball out. He catches this thing with his body. He shows late hands here, so this DB can't make a play on the ball, can't make a play on his hands, and he's able to catch this thing in traffic. Now, I want you to see here, this is the definition of a strong grip, right? Strong grip, DB cannot rip the ball out. That's how we need to be. We need to keep a strong grip every single time we catch this ball, especially when we catch it in traffic, to make sure that we secure this reception. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. It's a great job using his eyes, selling like he's going outside, stemming the route outside, get the DB to turn his hips, strong grip, showing late hands. It's a great job by Chris Godwin. Let's watch this thing full speed. So he's coming out, eyes over here. Jameis throws this thing a little bit behind him. Strong grip, catch this ball, show late hands for a great job. He's going to be at the top of your screen here on this one, guys. And the main thing I want you to see here is, again, catching traffic. We're going to talk a lot about his catching traffic. We're going to talk a lot about him initiating contact on this throw. So let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. So he's coming off here. Back shoulder, strong grip. Let's toe tap. Let's get down. So we're going to break this thing down. So he comes out the line here, a little bit of a catch technique, right? DB's manned up, catch technique. He's about 2-3 yards off. Godwin's off the ball, so he's got some space to work, right? He wants to close the gap with this DB. Let's close the gap with him. Let's step on his toes. Let's get him on those heels, and then let's make our moves. So what I want you to see here is he doesn't run away from the contact. DB does a good job of getting hands on him, but he doesn't run away from the contact. He's fighting the contact. He's fighting his hands. He's working upfield. He's still looking. Now he knows that this DB played him well. Fitzpatrick isn't going to throw this thing over the top right here. He's just not going to because he's not open yet. And if he tries to throw him open, he's way too close to the sideline. He's going to leave this thing inside. So the only way we could go is back shoulder here. So he does a good job of expecting the back shoulder. Sucking this DB in right here, drawing him in. Don't show your hands too early. Waiting till the last possible second. Let's turn and catch this ball. Strong grip. Now, this is an example where he catches this thing with his hands, right? He doesn't catch this thing with his body. Catches this thing out in front of him here. Strong grip, fight through the DB's hands, get your toes down, and when he catches this thing, I want you to see catching traffic, guys. We want to catch and then go straight to the tuck. That's exactly what he does. Catches this thing back shoulder and then brings it straight to the tuck. That's a great job by Godwin working this back shoulder fade in the end zone, showing late hands, expecting the back shoulder, initiating the contact off of this catch technique off the line of scrimmage. DB didn't play it bad. It's just there's no defense for a perfect throw and for a great catch that he just made. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he's coming out here, burst up. Don't initiate the contact. Don't run away from the contact. Late hands, right to the tuck. That's a great job by Chris Godwin. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. Again, please leave in the comments who you would like to see me break down next. I would really appreciate that, and I'll see you guys next time.